Hello students, welcome to our first lecture of Econometrics or EViews. In our today lecture, we will discuss that how to import data into EViews. First of all, we have to open the file of EViews as I have already installed the EViews 10 version. So you have to install any latest version into your PC. Then you have to click on this icon for the opening of eViews. When you double click on this icon, this type of window will appear on your screen and you have to click on this create a new eViews work file. And when you click on this, a tab will appear on your screen. On this tab, you have to select that in which form you have data. You have data quarterly, monthly, bi-monthly, fortnightly, weekly, whatever the data format in your Excel file. As I have data in annual form, so I have to select here annual. After selecting the time period of the data, I have to select the start and end date of the data. In start date option, I have to enter that from which year my data is starting. As my data starting point is 1980, so I am going to write 1980 at my starting time period. And my data end in the year of 2020, so I am going to write 2020 as my end date for my data time period, and then I have to click on OK. So there are multiple ways to import data into eViews. So first of all, we will discuss one of the simplest method, that how can we import data into eViews file. I have to go through quick, then I have to click on empty group, and as you can see that on this vertical column, the date which I mentioned in the dialog box, I had my data starting from 1980 and it will end at 2020. So by default eViews created this time duration here. So now I have to go back to the desktop and I have to open the Excel file where I have the data. So from this file, I have to copy all the data excluding the years, as eViews is already mentioning my starting and end time period there. So I have to simply copy this data and then I will go again on eViews file and I have to click here, and after clicking here I have to simply control plus V, and here the data comes in Excel file, eViews file. So as you can see that this is my first variable, this is my second variable, third, fourth, these are my variables data which I have copied from Excel files. And as you can see that this is the data ranges 1980 to 2020, and there are 41 observation in the data, and you can see the individual variable data by clicking on this variable. For let's suppose I want to check the data of ED variable, I have to click on this variable. As I have clicked on this variable, so this dialog box is showing me data for my this variable from 1980 to 2020. Similarly, you can see all the variables data by clicking on individual variables. So now let's discuss one other method for importing data from Excel to eViews. I have to click all of these as cancelled and I have to close this tab, and then I have to reopen the eViews in order to try another method to bring data into eViews. Okay, as I have closed all the tabs, and I am going to open the eViews file again, and I have to click on create a new work file, and I have to write the start and end date, and then I have to click on OK. And now we are going to study one another method in order to bring data from Excel file. So I have to go to here, the first tab as showing file, then I will go to import, then I will click on import from file, and here it is asking me that where your data is located. I have to tell it my location of the data, as I have copied my data on the desktop, so I have to click on this. Then you have nothing to do with these automatic selections. You have to just click on next, then next, and here is the data come into the eViews file. So this is the second method to bring data into eViews file. As you can see that here is the data for this specific variable, which is FA. So this is, there are the two methods that how can we bring data from Excel to Word, Excel to eViews file.